Worry will make you sick. I've never seen it accomplish anything. I've never seen worrying about anything change it. So I decided not to do it. If you can't do anything about it.
Once strangled by the IRS, Willie Nelson, after more than 7 decades of dedication, has built his fortune from nothing to a multi-million-dollar peak at 92, despite the tax scandal that rocked America. But what about that fortune is causing his descendants to have a headache? Let's explore the numbers, financial secrets, and why Willie Nelson's legacy remains a controversial topic. Fortune at 90. Throughout his nearly 70-year career, Nelson has shaped not only music, but also American popular culture. He has amassed an estimated net worth of $25 million, a seemingly large figure, but a relatively modest one when compared to his name and influence. Willie Nelson has had a career spanning many roles. Singer-songwriter, musician, actor, author, poet, music producer, and even a famous social activist. Famous songs such as Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain, Always on My Mind, and On the Road Again have engraved his name into the hearts of millions of fans around the world. Nelson is also one of the pioneers of the outlaw country movement, challenging the stereotypes of Nashville in the 1970s and redefining country music as more liberal, free-spirited, and closer to life. In addition to music, he has also acted in more than 30 films, from cinema to television. At the same time, he has also published many best-selling books, including autobiographies, essays, and poems, which realistically depict his turbulent life. It is the diversity in his artistic activities that has created many sources of income, contributing to his current net worth. Willie Nelson's net worth is a combination of several sources of income. Music royalties, with over 95 studio albums and hundreds of songs he wrote or performed. Royalties are a significant part of his fortune. Some of his songs have been covered by other artists and continue to generate steady income. Touring income. Despite being in his 90s, Nelson has continued to perform on stage until recently. His shows are often sold out, especially in his native Texas, where fans consider him a living treasure. Acting and book publishing. Acting roles and book sales provide a steady source of income. Autobiographies like It's a Long Story, My Life not only sell well, but also give readers a deeper understanding of his inner self and life. Business and investment projects. Nelson has invested in organic farming projects, legal cannabis brands, and founded the charity Farm Aid, a nonprofit organization that helps American farmers. One of the events that shook Willie Nelson's career and net worth was the 1990 tax crisis. At the time, the Internal Revenue Service, IRS, seized much of his assets due to a $32 million tax debt, including principal and penalties for false statements and bad financial advice from his accounting firm. With the help of his legal team, Nelson negotiated a reduction in the debt to one ends, which was later renegotiated to $6 million. To pay off the debt, he released a special album, The IRS Tapes, Who'll Buy My Memories, in 1992. All proceeds of which went directly to the IRS. Through concert touring and cost-cutting, he paid off the debt in full by 1993, although the financial fallout has had a profound effect on his net worth to this day. Compared to other country music icons, Willie Nelson's net worth is modest. For example, his longtime friend and colleague, Dolly Parton, has an estimated net worth of $650 million, largely due to smart investments in entertainment and Dollywood. Keith Urban, a modern-day country star, has an estimated net worth of $75 million, largely from touring and television deals. However, numbers alone cannot be used to judge an artist's true worth. Nelson does not pursue wealth as his ultimate goal. Instead, he prioritizes artistic freedom, humanitarian work, and a simple lifestyle, reflecting his deep philosophy in every word and action. One of Nelson's most famous possessions is his Martin guitar, the Trigger Model N20, which he bought in 1969 for just $7. Thousands of gigs later, the guitar has become worn, with cracked wood and signatures from friends and colleagues, but it has also become a living legacy. Currently, the Trigger is valued at $800,000 to $900,000, a symbol of the resilience and ups and downs that Nelson has endured. More than just an instrument, the Trigger has been his closest companion, his second voice for decades. Despite being strangled to the point of bankruptcy by the IRS, and his current net worth may surprise many, what has helped Willie Nelson maintain his career for nearly 70 years, and even at the age of 92, leave behind a fortune that makes his family cry. The key: the relentless touring and royalties from the vast library of music he wrote in secret, an intangible asset that is more valuable than gold. Music royalties and touring. Willie Nelson's financial success may be attributed, in large part, to the fact that he has written some of the most memorable songs in history and has constantly been on the road. It has been decades since many of his songs were initially published, yet his music repertoire continues to provide a large amount of cash. In Nelson's discography, there are two tracks that stand out in particular due to the remarkable earning power they possess. There is an estimated financial worth of $2.5 million for the song On the Road Again, which was written for the film Honeysuckle Rose in the year. In addition to being nominated for an Academy Award, Nelson was also awarded the Grammy for Best Country Song for his work on the song. In a similar vein, Always on My Mind is estimated to be worth $1.4 million and brings in roughly $17.8 in Zion royalties on a yearly basis. In 1983, the latter was awarded 3 Grammys, one of which was for Song of the Year, therefore establishing its position as a consistent earner in Nelson's discography. Despite being in his 90s, Nelson continues to have a busy touring schedule at all times. It is estimated that his live performances bring in between $500,000 and $749,000 every concert, with extraordinary performances topping $1 million. His annual profits from live performances range anywhere from $1 million to $2 million. As a consequence of this, Nelson's amazing work ethic and ongoing attraction to fans are demonstrated by the fact that he generally performs between 50 and 200 concert appearances each year. In addition to playing his stuff, Nelson continues to generate a regular stream of cash from the songwriting he does for other musicians. According to estimates, his music archive, which includes more than 200 CDs, brings in around $4.25 million yearly. During the early stages of his career, Nelson came close to selling his song Crazy for only $10, but happily, he kept the rights to the tune. Nelson was promised $500 for the song Hello Walls by Fair & Young, but the artist chose to loan Nelson the money instead. When the song reached the top of the charts, Nelson was subsequently awarded a royalty check of $20,000. This move proved to be profitable. The unwavering significance of intellectual property in the music industry is demonstrated by the fact that these royalties continue to flow even after several decades have passed. Willie Nelson was able to achieve financial security in addition to his musical career by accumulating a wide portfolio of investments and engaging in business endeavors. His vision had a far wider scope than the recording studio, which led to the creation of additional income streams that supplemented his profits from music. Nelson kept a sharp eye for chances throughout his career, and he frequently utilized his celebrity position as leverage to join a variety of areas that he was interested in. Upon its first publication, Nelson's autobiography, titled It's a Long Story, My Life, had significant financial success, becoming a bestseller on the New York Times bestseller list. Independent of his musical endeavors, he was able to produce additional revenue through his writing endeavors, which included collections of poetry and memoirs. While this was going on, the country music legend continued to retain lucrative endorsement arrangements with companies who were looking to identify themselves with his genuine image and widespread admiration. Through his career in cinema, Nelson appeared in more than 30 films throughout the course of his lifetime, which contributed to the diversification of his income. These acting gigs, beginning with his debut in The Electric Horseman, 1979, provided him with a stable, extra income in addition to any money he made from his songs. Additionally, Other revenue streams were developed as a result of his appearances in television ads and commercials for brands such as Taco Bell and Gap, particularly in light of the difficulties he encountered with taxes in the 1990s. Nelson's approach to his finances demonstrates extraordinary versatility. In point of fact, the fact that he was able to reestablish his fortune despite suffering a significant loss of money is evidence of his remarkable commercial acumen. Before creating larger commercial endeavors, Nelson investigated a variety of potential sources of revenue, such as the selling of products during concerts and through his website. Additionally, the red-headed stranger kept ownership of his master recordings whenever it was possible to do so, which allowed him to get better royalty payments than many of his contemporaries who had surrendered these rights. Through the implementation of this method and the careful control of publication rights, he was able to maximize the revenues from his extensive library. Throughout his ninth decade, Nelson never stopped looking for new ways to make money, demonstrating that his business energy remained just as strong as his musical genius. His multifaceted strategy for amassing riches ultimately ended up providing him with a level of financial stability that he would not have been able to reach through his musical prowess alone. But is music alone enough to sustain such a huge fortune until the age of 92? No, the answer lies elsewhere. Business ventures and real estate. In addition to his vast musical legacy and hundreds of concerts spanning decades, Willie Nelson is also a shrewd businessman with a vision beyond the stage. He understands that the spotlight cannot last forever, but smart and well-timed investments can help protect and multiply his assets, not only for the present, but for future generations. Therefore, he has gradually diversified his portfolio, from pioneering fields such as legal cannabis, renewable energy, to valuable real estate. In 2015, Willie Nelson officially launched the brand Willie's Reserve, a company specializing in providing cannabis products such as dried flower, vape juice, and functional foods. This is not simply a commercial project, but also a strong statement from a man who has been supporting the legalization of marijuana since 1954, when he first tried this herb. Notably, Willie's Reserve does not source from large corporations, but prioritizes working with independent farmers, supporting small businesses in the industry, true to the people's man spirit that he has always demonstrated in his artistic career and life. Although it was founded less than a decade ago, Willie's Reserve has raised nearly $30 million from investors and generated about $2.3 million in annual revenue. The brand quickly expanded its market to pioneering states such as Colorado, Oregon, Washington, California, and Nevada. Most recently, when entering the Michigan market, his products almost sold out. After only a few days of being on sale in 15 medical and recreational stores. This is a testament to the strong appeal of the name Willie Nelson, not only in music, but also in the business world. Not stopping there, Willie Nelson also tried his hand in the clean energy field through the BioWillie brand, a biofuel extracted from soybeans and vegetable oils. His goal was not only to make a profit, but also to reduce dependence on imported oil and protect the environment, a bold and ahead-of-time view when he launched this project into. Willie once held more than 6.5 million shares of Earth Biodiesel Inc., the exclusive distributor of BioWillie, showing that he was not only involved in a nominal role, but was truly investing for the long term. Although this project encountered many difficulties, such as high raw material costs and fierce competition, Nelson continued to accompany Pacific Biodiesel in 2012 to improve quality and maintain influence in the renewable energy industry. In addition to his business activities, Willie Nelson has also built a valuable real estate portfolio, stretching from Texas to Hawaii, both as a residence and as an asset that can generate income in the future. In Spikewood, Texas, he owns a main property of more than 13,700 square feet, more than 1,200 square meters, worth about $3.9 million, located in the lush Texas Hill Country, surrounded by 200 acres of land, enough to make a private kingdom for a country music legend. In addition, he also owns a 700-acre ranch in Luck, Texas, where the annual Luck Reunion Festival is held. This space serves not only for entertainment purposes, but also acts as a miniature music and cultural center, gathering thousands of audiences and artists each year, a symbol of the artistic independence that Willie Nelson has worked hard to cultivate, not stopping on the mainland. Nelson also has his piece of paradise on the island of Maui, Hawaii, where he owns a 6,000 square foot house, purchased in 1983 for just $400. Over time, the property has grown in value to $4.3 million, not to mention the emotional factor, as this is where he often retreats to rest, meditate, and occasionally play impromptu music. He even bought a local bar called Charlie's in Paille, where he sometimes makes surprise appearances and performs, leaving visitors with unforgettable experiences. His family, the loved ones who have stood by him through thick and thin, now face a big question. They will inherit not only a multi-million-dollar fortune, but also the spiritual legacy of an American icon. Are they succession? Willie Nelson's 8 children are in a position to inherit not just his financial riches, but also his musical legacy, as the living icon continues to play at the age of 9. The colorful individual adventure that he has taken is reflected in his enormous family, which spans numerous generations and marriages. Willie Nelson's family tree is comprised of 4 different marriages, which have resulted in 8 children who are his principal heirs. The first marriage he had with Martha Matthews resulted in the birth of 3 children, Lana, Susie, and Billy. Unfortunately, Billy passed away in 1991. Following the dissolution of his second marriage to Shirley Cawley, Willie wed Connie Kupke and therefore became the father of 2 daughters, Paula and Amy. His marriage to Annie D'Angelo, with whom he shares custody of their 2 kids, Lucas and Micah, continues to the present day. A connection that Willie had with Mary Haney resulted in the birth of another daughter, Renee Butts, which he found out about in the year 2000. Without a doubt, music is deeply ingrained in the family's culture. During the last 10 years, Lana has been responsible for managing the family's money. Meanwhile, Lucas is the leader of the band Promise of the Real. Micah is known for his performances as Particle Kid, and Paula has established herself as a well-respected country musician. Apart from her renowned father, Paula Nelson has established her financial status in the entertainment industry. She is estimated to have a net worth of roughly $5 million, according to current estimates. Due to the fact that she is a diverse performer, the Country Music Association of Texas honored her as the Female Artist of the Year in the year. In point of fact, her profession encompasses both performing and broadcasting, which contributes to the consistent means by which she earns money. Paula's father and she have worked together on a number of projects, including the duet Have You Ever Seen the Rain, which was included on his album in 2013. This has helped to build both their connection and their professional qualifications. Due to the fact that Willie Nelson takes a private approach to estate planning, exact information regarding the distribution of his inheritance of $25 million is kept hidden. Given the strong relationship that he shares with his children, they may be the principal beneficiaries of the large assets that he possesses. Significant amounts of his wealth are comprised of his real estate holdings in the states of Texas and Hawaii, as well as his commercial endeavors such as Willie's Reserve. Equally as crucial is the fact that his huge music collection, which includes well-known songs such as On the Road Again and Always on My Mind, will continue to provide royalties for his descendants. It is possible that family members who are already active in his commercial dealings will be responsible for the management of these assets. This would ensure that his legacy would be passed down from generation to generation. With a family of artists spanning generations like Willie Nelson, who do you think is worthy of carrying on his legacy of music and freedom? What do you think of his fortune? Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. We would love to hear from you. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more interesting updates. Thank you and see you in the next video.